If you see the level of risk people take here is because they feel safe.
Yes.
Being in a place where you feel like your family's safe, where your money is safe, where your future is safe,
Your mind is
you'll
safe.
take bigger risks.
Big time. Big time.
You're not going to basically feel like,
Big
okay,
time.
I'm limited here.
Yeah.
You'll feel like, you know what, your wildest dreams can come to life here.
Oh, yeah.
As a developer, that's what I felt. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the MainMic episode.
Absolutely.
We're here to talk more about how the Dubai real estate and the business world is being affected on the changes that are coming up this year in 2025.
Yep.
With me, we have Walid and Tony, and we're going to talk more about how 2025 has a positive outcome in store for us.
Obviously, like I think 2025 is gonna be a tough year because I don't know how we're gonna beat 2024.
Yeah.
I don't know, Tony, if you.
It's always going to be better. There's no question there. The same way you can never imagine 2024 will look the way it was in 2020. I think there's no doubt it's always going to be one step up.
True.
At least worst case scenario is you learn something new. Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So I can't even. But I feel like the energy wise, I don't want to sound spiritual or like a Sadhguru or whatever, but. I always say, like, you know, all this New Year resolution, all this bullshit. It's like, I always say the next year is the year that you capitalize or you pull the seeds or you pull the fruits of the seeds you planted the year before.
Sure. Yeah.
So anybody waking up 2025 about to wake up a six-pack, no, you did crunches in 2024 and then you got six-pack in 2025.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that's how I see it. So I don't bother myself all this New Year resolution bullshit. To me, today is the 6th. This is the 372nd day of 2024.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's not January 1st, now I got to change. Nothing is changing for me because I'm the same person. My goals are the same. My desires are the same to grow, like all of us get better. So everything that we've done, at whatever point we decided to wake the fuck up, in 2024, that's when we start to make, progressive changes and better things for ourselves.
Yeah. Every overnight success is like 10 years in the making.
Exactly.
True.
So there's no
magic
never.
There's no real estate mystery or anything like that.
The 10,000 hours got to go in.
Results.
The 10,000 hours go in.
Hard work.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I'm really impressed by Amir's story. I don't know if you're. We spoke about it briefly, but you started like from door to door in Miami.
Yeah.
You started from the scratch.
Trenches.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was in the crash of 2008 where you were living that hell of real estate.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And we had to reinvent ourselves. If we had to just basically think that we're going to live within our comfort zone, there would have been no future. And I think in every market and every year, I think that's one thing that's really important as we sharpen our skills and that we try to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable to do what we said we're going to do in the beginning. So one thing good about 2025 is, setting New Year's resolutions is that it is a restart. It's something that where we can say that even if we had a shitty year last year, that we can then try to make it a better year this year.
Yeah.
But if we already had good habits and we did everything we were supposed to do, like you said, if we were doing the crunches in 2024, then we can expect a six-pack in 2025.
Exactly.
100%.
It doesn't
100%.
just happen.
Tony, look, I know you're one of the biggest commentators about Dubai.
Yeah.
I mean, your page, if you want to know about Dubai, you just go to Tony, binge watch all the reels, you'll understand Dubai. We see that story of Amir here, developer in Miami coming to Dubai.
Yeah.
If I want to ask you, is there other reasons for people coming here regardless than the taxes? Because what I hear in social media or from the tourists, Dubai, they're coming because of the taxes.
I love that
the taxes, I think it's not the only reason. And do you think I'm right?
It's so funny you said that because I was talking to two friends of mine just over New Year's Eve, and one is from Singapore, one is from Malaysia, both American, but originally, Asian Americans.
Yeah.
And we established, I was like, if every part of the world, every city, every country, every state, right, had 50% taxes, right, had same minimum income or same wage, same minimum wage or whatever it was, everybody was living in the same house, earning the same amount of money, people will still move to Dubai. Because people underestimate the non-financial value a place provides. Money is important. We fucking love money. Oh, bloody hell, we love money. Everyone likes money.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, right? Money is only 99%. that 1% that money cannot touch is just as important as the 99% that money brings. Sure. And those are the psychological value, the conservative, cultural, spiritual, religious value, right? We live in a society that has two genders. Yeah. I can't believe that we're saying that in 2025, right? That it's a big deal that a society has male and female bathrooms, male and female on the forms when you're buying things. I can't believe we're saying that.
Yeah.
But the security, everybody knows what Dubai security is like.
Yeah.
But most importantly, I always say one thing. Governments initially were built to take care of its people. Mm-hmm. That's what a government was for, right? People entrusted a small group of people to police and cater for the large group of people. The UAE is the only country in the whole world where the government actually gives a shit about its people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about that for a second, it changes everything. You don't need to be rich. Think about it, right? I was about to go very vulgar right now. Like, really, I was about to cross. You know, I think I'm gonna.
We need to see the real, raw, relevant side of you, Tony.
I'll fix it in the editing if it's too graphic.
I was gonna say, listen, man. As a partner, right? As a woman or whatever, it's not about having a husband with the biggest dick. Yeah. Right? It's about who loves you the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to be a complete package,
yeah.
right? And the reason I said that, and as much as that's a vulgar comparison, is really a matter of how complete and fulfilled the people who live here feel as residents and as citizens.
True.
Right? There's nowhere in the world that you go where you find citizens as proud as Emiratis. Nowhere, and for obvious reasons. Not every Emirati wants to drive a Range Rover or Bugatti or Rolls Royce, and most of them don't, right? Yeah. But the satisfaction, just knowing my government actually gives a shit about me.
Yeah.
That is something that every country, every city, every person in the world should want to emulate. Like, if I had a chance to go back to Africa and like fix things up, I will, but I won't make it that far. You know this, you know? So it's just, and it's something where it's not only just leaders, of course, leadership is 90% of it, but the people have to also be willing and receptive to that change.
True.
And that's where Dubai flies that no other place in the world can come close to.
We have now Amir. He's a big example. You were in Miami. Miami is beautiful.
Yeah.
Life is cool.
Yeah.
And you have a business. You have a real estate. You're a developer.
Yeah.
And you're established there. To take that step and come to Dubai. And I don't want you to tell me, because of safety and a lot, because we all know that. But is there other reasons that people they're not aware about? From an American point of view.
See, I went to school. I lived in Miami. I grew up in Miami ever since I was 2 weeks old. I was born in Pakistan, and I was raised in Miami ever since I was 2 weeks old. And Miami is a great city. It was a city where I felt like it had a lot of opportunity, a place that I could probably, did get married and raise my family. But it was when I got to Dubai is when I really noticed what I was missing.
Yeah.
People sometimes, they get so comfortable, they live in their comfort zone that they don't know what's out there.
Yeah.
And when they come here, even when it's for vacation, they get to see what Dubai is all about.
Yeah.
They get curious and they want to know more. They want to taste a little bit more of that. And then they start dreaming about how would it be if I was living here.
Yeah.
That's the story that I basically turned into my reality, is where I came here for just a fly-through on the way to pilgrimage and spent like 24 hours here. I'm like, man, I need to come back here. I need to learn more, a little bit about more what's going on over here. And when I got here and I spent a week, I'm like, this has to be home one day.
Of course.
And then I worked towards that. So it's not sometimes about like this checklist about all the things at Dubai, why we should do what we want to do. Sometimes it's just about living on the edge and just taking that risk, that leap of faith to be able to make, your wildest dream come to life.
Yeah. 100%.
And Dubai is the best place to do that. I think.
Yeah.
Because if you see the level of risk people take here is because they feel safe.
Yes.
Being in a place where you feel like your family's safe, where your money is safe, where your future is safe,
your mind is
you'll
safe.
take bigger risks.
Big time.
You're not going to basically feel like, okay, I'm limited here.
Yeah.
You'll feel like, your wildest dreams can come to life here.
Oh, yeah.
As a developer, that's what I felt. I feel like I could come up with the nicest product and there will be a market for it.
Of course.
Not a lot of places in the world can you say that.
No.
Here's one of those places where you can come up with a product and there will be a consumer for it.
True. Okay, so now, and this question is for you guys, because you're the business owners here. I'm just a small producer.
Small.
So
soon to be very big.
Sure.
Inshallah. So let's address the elephant in the room. we all know that taxes are starting to slowly rise. They were 5%. I believe they're 7 now, if I'm not wrong.
No, still 5.
Still fine.
Still 5. But
VAT, well,
VAT
VAT
if you're
is
talking
5.
about, yeah.
yeah.
Corporate tax is 9 if you make $100,000 in profit as a company, and then the multinational tax is VAT is 15%.
All right.
So the different categories.
There's different categories. Do you guys think that it will somehow slow down this huge influx of business owners trying to set up something here?
Tell me a place where you'd rather be. I mean, any country that offers the resources and the support and the opportunity like the way UAE does, their taxes are more than this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Emerging markets, yeah, where you could probably pay less, but you get less. You get what you pay for.
Way less.
You get what you pay for. And here, the level of opportunity that you're dealing with, I think tax is like a benefit. Tax is like basically saying that you made $1 million, or like, all right, are you going to cry about 15% when you made $1 million?
Yeah.
Right? So those are the things that sometimes it's just one of those things you have to pay that price to be able to get to where you want to go.
What do you think, Tony?
I always say, if anywhere in the world has the right to tax us, it's Dubai.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
It is. If anywhere I can put a gun to my head and say, they don't have to put a gun to my head to pay tax. If Dubai woke up and said tax is now 30%, I'm not going anywhere. 40%, 65%. Why? Like you said, we can see it.
Yeah.
We can see where that money is going.
You get what you pay for.
You
And
get
here
exactly what you pay for.
You're seeing the results of your life before you've even gotten there.
100%. I mean, like you rightly said, right? You know, especially when people compare Dubai to other places, I'm like, what are you comparing Dubai to? You're going to compare Dubai to Islamabad or northern Nigeria or, you know, some tiny shithole in Europe. No, you got to compare apples to apples, right? Yeah. And the value for what Dubai gives to you here is, first of all, unparalleled because there's nowhere in the world that offers anything close to Dubai. Nothing. Now, all these bullshit talk about, all these old companies, cities and countries only have age on Dubai. Not even everywhere has history. Dubai has history. The UAE, the Middle East, oh my God, the Middle East history is rich.
Yeah.
Right? It's so funny how the West try to downplay it and be like, buildings. I'm like, what? Did God fucking build the Notre Dame or did a man fucking build the Notre Dame? Who built the fucking Big Ben? God or a man? Yeah. So at some point, the only difference between the Big Ben and Burj Khalifa is one is just way older, less looked after, and might just fall down any minute now.
Yeah.
That's the only difference, really, right? Yeah. So when you really think about it, progressively, Dubai is the fastest adapting city in the world. Well, the UAE. I know I said Dubai, but I really mean the UAE.
Yeah, this is all the people. Yeah. Some people think Dubai is the country.
It's the country. A lot of even sometimes I said Dubai as a country, I slit it in my like once, twice. You know what I mean? But it's really the UAE because they keep evolving, they keep adapting. I mean, where else in the world do you have the ruler of a place change laws because regular guys like you and I made a complaint on a government website?
Imagine that, right? You can see the ruler of Dubai walk the common streets.
Yes.
And feel safe.
Yes.
And connect with the people.
Oh, yeah.
And take interest in making changes to be able to improve the life of the people that live here. People in other countries, leaders in other countries, they're too busy just playing politics.
Kidding me?
Just politics, just for the votes.
It's a joke, man.
Yeah, it's the American elections, the campaigns. Yeah. Oh my God, it's very strange. It's like entertainment. But to touch on to what you said about the UAE. Some people they say the UAE they don't have a past or they don't have a history.
Yeah,
but for sure they have a future. But they have a future.
No, but there's history.
Let's say they don't have a history, but they sure have a future.
No, I hear
and
you.
And the future is very bright.
But there's a history.
Yeah, there is a history.
The Arabian history is just one of the most critical. My God, like it's
the birth of all three religions.
It was around here.
It's in the Middle East.
Yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day, like, what are they even talking about? I mean, let's be honest. We all know that we've all lived in the West, could travel the world, whatever. People who are miserable have to try to bring others down to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
And that's why the West is always shitting on the UAE, shitting on the Middle East. Bro, Dubai is way more civilized now than America. Have you seen San Diego lately?
Man.
Bro, you would think you're in an apocalypse movie.
Really?
Bro, San Diego is a joke. Crackheads laying down, itching, playing 2-string guitars, literally about to hit you because you're not tipping them, bro. Homeless people living inside shopping carts. Now, you tell me, where civilization really lies. And then these same bastards have the guts to shit on Africa. It's the same shit. Like, you literally are, if you don't know that you're in San Diego, you will not be able to know which part of the world you are.
I went to San Francisco last year, and man, it was a culture shock.
Bruh.
What a culture shock. I've been to major cities in Africa. I've got, every chance we get, we travel just to see and reflect and appreciate and also learn from. And when I went back to San Francisco, I just couldn't, I felt like you said, an apocalypse.
Okay, I want to ask you, I know as an American.
Yeah. I feel like someone is coming here.
No, like as an American, if we hear that something bad is happening to our country, we kind of feel a little bit, you know what I mean?
I will tell you that, yes, I am still a proud American.
Of course.
And I always consider when I go back home to Miami, I still consider it home. Dubai is home for me, but Miami will always have the sweet spot for me, is because that's where my family is, that's where I was raised, right? All my kids were born. But I get to pick on my own as well. Of course. Because that's the only way we improve. Yeah. And I think one of the things that is missing is that society has lost their values.
Big time.
Society has lost their values. And when you lose values, then everything else will crumble. Yeah. The interest in being able to improve education, to be able to improve the connection to a higher being, whether it be Allah or God or Jesus Christ or whoever it is, that's missing in that society.
Yeah.
And then also just the motivation to be able to improve and become better, right? One of the things that I can say is that what Trump election brought to the American people is hope.
Yeah.
Hope that things can get better.
Big time.
And I feel that America is one of the greatest countries in the world, but at the same time, it's one of the greatest countries that has room for improvement,
of course,
as well. Of course. And Dubai has taken advantage of making sure that we can bring a place in the world for people that want to improve to have a place to
like a playground.
Yes, because America was that American dream that people wanted to be part of. But now definitely I believe also that Dubai is nowhere farther from the truth. That it's also a place where people want to make dreams come to reality.
I always say the American dream also emigrated here. So it's in Dubai right now.
Absolutely.
So now I want to touch on something that Tony really understands a lot of things about. And to be quite honest, even me being 9 years in Dubai, I'm still confused about this subject that I'm going to be asking about, which is when you set up a company in Dubai, knowing that Dubai is bringing all these people to set up companies, there is mainland and there is free zones. And I know that the free zone is a free zone where you are exposed, you are allowed only to work with the external world.
Correct.
And mainland, I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
All right. And mainland is when you want to do
covers
internally
locally and externally.
But I see people, they have free zones, but they're working with internally.
I'm so happy you brought that up because first of all, that is actually a very gray area that the UAE government has let slide for a very long time. Pre-taxes, pre-corporate taxes, pre-VATs. Now with VATs, you have to reference and submit the address of your clientele. Before VATs, before corporate taxes, there was no need to do any of that. So people in the free zone were servicing clients in the mainland. Now that is black and white illegal.
Oh my God. Okay.
You cannot. So if you had a free zone company, right? Now again, free zones, and the reason why, the two main reasons why free zones are still famous. One, there are sales agents out there who are incentivized by because free zones are companies. We could open our own free zone tomorrow if we want. And soon I might actually open my own free zone, to be honest with you, right? Yeah. But free zone companies have agents who are incentivized to sell their free zones. So they get higher commissions for the more licenses they sell. Oh. So what does that create?
If they work for the free zone entity,
yeah, right. And even third parties. So for example, like my company as a business development setup company, we are channel partners to some free zones.
Okay.
I do mostly mainland because there's so much, and I'll get to that, the benefits of mainland over free zones. But I see a lot of the guys who talk about free zones because even when my clients come to me, they tell me, but this guy told me about this free zone, and I get the bigger.
There's a lot of them.
And there's a lot of bullshit in there. So many lies. They're still lying to clients that mainland needs local partners. Yes. Mainland needs a big physical office. Mainland has this and so much lies about the mainland. But the reality is mainland is superior to free zone. Mainland, you can operate within the UAE. You can work with the government. Free zones cannot work with governments, by the way. You cannot get a single government tender with a free zone.
I didn't know that.
There you go, right? And then you can also work externally. I have clients who pay me from abroad. Free zones can only work within that free zone and outside. Now you do the math, and the prices, a lot of the times, they're very similar. In fact, free zones cost even more for the major free zone, not these like, small shit, out of nowhere, bad service free zones. No, the proper ones cost even more than the mainland. So these guys have no incentive to sell the mainland, because another good second thing as I realize is free zones lock in a client to their channel partner. So if, for example, he's a free zone and you're a channel partner or you're a client, the person who set up your license in that free zone has authority over you. For you to get any changes done to your own company with your name on it,
you have to go
you
through
need
him.
an NOC
From that person.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
These are these small things that nobody is talking about, because the free zone companies are just bombarding marketing, and that's it.
When I first moved here in 2016, one of the main reasons why I incorporated in the free zone is because at that time, the law required a local partner.
51% office.
Correct. Depending upon the business activity that you wanted to participate in, some business activities you could not open in the free zone.
Yeah.
And so depending on the activity, if
course.
you were just a consultant, you can open in any free zone, to be honest. But at that time, what we wanted to open was really, we could have done it anywhere. So we did open in the free zone. Until date, I still have that corporation. And that corporation does business here in the UAE. However, the way that you can make it legal is by making sure they're registered for VAT.
Yeah.
If you're registering that company for VAT purposes to collect and pay VAT, then you can operate out of the free zone and sell locally. But many people, what they're trying to do is they're opening in the free zone just to avoid VAT.
Yeah.
That's completely illegal, right? And then just after the law changes in 2020, when 100% ownership could be had in many other categories than ever before, I decided to open a corporation in the mainland. Yeah. And that's where Main Realty came about, is where as a developer, I can come into Dubai, be 100% shareholder and operate.
I thought...
Before you couldn't.
No,
but there was once upon a time where developers had to be 100% local.
Local. Real estate.
100%.
There was once upon a time. Even real estate brokerages, because I had a brokerage a while ago, and it was 100% in my local partner's name.
Yeah.
And then I was just a manager with a power of attorney.
Correct.
When was that?
That was a year. This is like 5-6 years ago. I had the license. When I was building the software for the real estate industry before COVID came and tore all that apart. So it's a recent change.
Yeah. So you're telling me that Amir, you Main Realty, I thought developers still today. They need a local.
Bro, you won't
partner.
have as many development companies actually being able to scale at the speed they're able to now with the freedom if it was only through locals. In fact, there was once upon a time where even the requirement, not even every local could get it. It was so difficult and so tedious, and they didn't have all the online.
You could only have one developer license.
It was ridiculous. So the freedom that it has right now is what has allowed Dubai skyrocket the way it is. Because then it's a matter of not everybody that wants to come out here has all the basic resources in regards to the connections, the local partner, whatever, but they have the resources in regards to the experience, the money, the expertise, the quality experience, but then they don't have that. And then they're screwed, they're handicapped. And not everybody wants to get into business with a random stranger you just met yesterday.
Yeah.
And then just put your entire life of, 7, 8, 9, 12 digits into some random guy's hands. It's
with just the power of attorney that
with
can be revoked.
attorney.
Yeah, true.
I remember those were one of my concerns when I was moving here from America. I was like, can I own my own business?
Yeah.
I've always been an entrepreneur, and so I wanted to make sure that my balls aren't chopped when I want to open my own business. But here, it was something that the laws were basically promoting foreigners to come in and start their own business. But of course, we have to do it responsibly. And there's nothing negative about having a local partner either. Yeah. It has benefits, right? Because they're guiding you through the process. They're being held accountable for certain things that they need to make sure that we follow the rules and regulations of the country. But now with adherence to the overall grand scheme of how to do business here, I think now like the freedom of any foreigner to be able to come here and open business is allowing us to be able to grow.
True.
And that's how I think, yes, we've mushroomed. In the real estate industry, I think you'll see 10x growth, or you've seen 10x growth over the course of the last 2-3 years because of that.
So you think that's one of the main reasons?
Not main, but one of the reasons.
One of the reasons. That makes sense. I had a question for Tony, that why you've been here for like 15 years and why you were not one of the people who be the first to start a brokerage, knowing that you're also an entrepreneur. But now I'm hearing that you already tried it, right?
Yeah, I got into real estate brokerage not because I wanted to do real estate. As you know, I'm not a broker. I don't do real estate myself, not directly. I got into it because I wanted to build from come from a tech background.
Yeah.
A tech platform for the real estate industry. And when I went to land department and RERA, they required me to have a real estate brokerage license to be able to digitize certain things that I was doing.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So that's why I got it. So now, obviously, it's just on the side. It's something that's just chilling. I support brokers in the sense of my live up, business consultancy community. Their real estate needs, I pass it on to my real estate community, which is a bunch of freelance brokers just coming out to me, different languages, different portfolio, different special expertise. I'm like, okay, I got a client who's looking for, he just moved here from Brazil or Toronto or New York, and he's got $12 million budget or $10,000 budget, whatever. He wants to rent or buy a house. So then I put together that, real estate community of experts who then could cater to the needs of that without me, because then it was initially just about the money, but then it really became about being able to cater with consistency and quality. Because before, when I refer my clients to, just a friend of mine or a random person, they'll come back fucking crying. I'm like, yo, this guy's ripped me off, or this guy's not giving me horrible service or whatever. So it's like, you know what? I have to now vet the people I'm sending my clientele to, because they are going to have to be an extension of me.
True.
So if I give Aiden hey, call Osman or Omar has to give the quality of service Aiden is expecting from me.
Yeah.
Therefore, I look bad. So that's why I said, so a lot of people actually think I'm in real estate or I'm a real estate broker.
Yeah.
I think also because of where I sell Dubai.
No, because also you sell Dubai a lot and you hang out with a lot of brokers.
A lot of real estate brokers, because a lot of my business is referred to me by real estate brokers and developers, right? Yeah. Because then you have clients, because I do maybe I'll say for about nearly 10 to 20% of the real estate brokers in Dubai, brokerages in Dubai. I process their golden visas or whatever it is. I have at least nearly 600-700 real estate brokerages that refer business to me. Just for, hey, I got a client doing golden visa, or they want to do visa for their kids or whatever, or hey, they've opened a company and they bought a property, they want to, put a family office, they want to open a business. And I advise them, about how they can use LLCs to own properties. Because as you know, I'm not trying to teach you guys how to hack or steal from the government, but when you're selling, as a developer, you know this better than I do, when you're selling a property, you pay the 4.2%, 4% plus VAT, right? DLD fee. Yeah. Now, if a company owns an LLC or a company owns the property, all you pay is the company ownership fee, which is a couple thousand dirhams.
What?
Yes.
So DLD is gone.
It's gone, right? So at the end of the day, it's still the company on the land department registry. The company still owns, the property is still owned by the company.
Yeah.
The only difference now is who is the shareholder of the company that's changed. So when you have a $20 million house, you're not going to be paying 4% of that just to change from Aiden to Omar, right? It's now a matter of just a few thousand dirhams. You change ownership of the company, and now that person's in possession of the property.
But Tony, I'll caution you on that.
Tell me.
That one, if there's any change on shareholders,
yes,
any change of, what do they call it, ultimate beneficiary, UBOs, then 4% is due.
But again, it's only due on certain criteria.
If there is any change, because we purchase all of our properties on holding companies, opened in the free zone, in the Maidan free zone. And if we ever add an extra investor, then we must, there's a rule that requires the company shareholders to disclose that to land department. And
but we've done it through the mainland. We didn't have to pay the 4% at all.
Okay.
Because what has happened
that probably
now
is the difference.
Yeah, because then when they go as an LLC, what happens now is a matter of, so it goes two ways. The property is either now going to be an investment handover or an external investor handover. Now there's a difference. If you sell the company, now let me show you one tiny hack. I'm gonna get knocked on my door by CID later. So there's something called company sale agreement and add partner, remove partner in the mainland.
Okay.
If we modify where on the shareholder certificate or the trade license itself, the actual partners change, the name on the title doesn't change, you don't pay 4% in the mainland.
Okay.
Try this out.
Got it.
I mean, I just people aren't getting knock and they don't know it yet, but no.
Should I put it on keep it on the episode?
I mean, I'm an example because I've done this between me and my father, right?
Okay.
Where I had my property bought with my management LLC, and I've changed it from my name to my father's name.
Okay.
Now, eventually, I changed the name back to his name over to because I wanted him to have a golden visa.
Okay.
Because then with Nigerian passport, it's a bit of a bitch. It's like, how do I get him a golden visa?
Yeah.
So I put one of our properties, in Marina,
right, cool.
into his name. Like, and then I had to pay 4% again.
Okay.
But then that's fine because I'm like, he's been stuck out there. He can come out. So I'm like, let's do that.
Yeah.
But beyond that point, with the mainland, zero, nothing, 4.2.
Wow.
That's a very
huge
interesting
benefit.
It is crazy.
First of all,
Because at the end of the day, right, what do? You're acquiring the asset holder. You're not acquiring the property itself. Nothing is changing on the property management on paper.
Yeah.
Right? Now, can these laws change tomorrow? Hell yeah. Like,
after this podcast, I'm afraid.
anything could happen, right? But it's the game because if you're acquiring assets, whether it's personnel, on a company, real estate assets, vehicles, phones, whatever, you acquire the company, and that's it. Whatever the company owns, the company owns.
It's assets and debts.
It's asset in debts, right? Now, depending
yeah.
if it's on debt or whatever. So there are lots of really creative ways with the accounting ways to get away with that.
Nice
You
to know.
knew that?
Yes
No,
and
no, no.
For sure he knew.
No, he knew that.
He's trying to play the halal, like he's not taking advantage of it. Sure, we
Yeah.
see you, bro.
No, I'm telling you, our industry knows about those loopholes.
Oh, for sure.
And if there was one, we'd be using it.
Yeah, I know, I feel
Okay,
you.
so you guys that's an interesting information.
Yep.
I'm like really, really, really shocked. But this made me think about something interesting that I'm not bashing real estate agencies, but because he do business setup.
Yeah.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think number one business license in Dubai
Must be real estate, right?
Real estate brokerage. Is it?
Almost.
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 Oh, it's not the first.
It's the fourth.
What?
Is it? Yeah.
No, it's the fifth. It's the fifth now.
Let me guess. Marketing agency before
Marketing agency is number one. Right?
number one.
Airbnb is number three.
that? Airbnb is number three.
Right.
Holiday
Hotel. Number two is concierge and hospitality and consults. So here's the case now. That's a very tricky one. Dubai doesn't have in America, in Toronto, where you can have a license that says consultancy.
General.
That's it. General consultancy.
Yeah.
Dubai doesn't have that. And a lot of times
Specific.
people just pick out different labels. And I think the data is kind of skewed because people don't go into the activities to practice specifically what the activity says in the license.
All right.
They use it as a gateway. So people just get the activity just to get a residence visa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I mean,
Plenty, yeah.
I'll say 70% of my clientele get the licenses just because they want to get a residence visa.
Yeah.
And they don't want to go buy a freelance visa
Yeah.
or they don't want to go buy a property yet. So they get a company, they employ themselves or they put themselves as an investor or a partner
Yeah.
and they put the family underneath that.
Yeah,
So
and they
then it's
don't-
difficult
yeah.
to even to say what really is. But for us, number one is marketing agencies. Web 2 or even Web 3 crypto
Yeah.
marketing, it's on anybody right now.
Yeah.
Marketing covers everything, right? Marketing is it's a broad
Generic
thing.
enough.
But do you think, because there is a certain number of units in terms of sales in the market, like developer and secondary, right? Do you think they should put a cap on the number of brokerages they should be in the market?
I don't think they should.
It's a free market, right?
Yeah.
We can't really sit here and expect the government to oversee
And police
that
everything,
type of micromanagement of an industry, because that obviously has its benefits and its drawbacks. But I think when economies and markets change, the people that don't have the discipline, that are not really the true experts in the business and have the customers' needs before their own, they're going to automatically be cleansed out, I think. And that's something that
The market will do
happens
its
in every
job.
market.
Yeah, it's gonna be happening organically. The market will just
And let's be
economy.
honest, we don't have enough brokers in Dubai.
What?
I
No,
know.
come on, Tony.
I know. I knew you're gonna
Are you
react like that.
serious?
I knew you're gonna react like
You
that.
sure?
I guarantee you, 70% of the brokers in Dubai are not brokers.
Okay, yeah, well, that's why we have to.
Right?
You're
They're,
right.
they're freelancers who, they heard Amer made $1 million dirham, in a paycheck last month, so they want to go try their hand out. Now, when I say not enough brokers, I'm talking about those who are community
Truly
based.
experts in the business.
I
And
agree
are
with you.
experts.
I agree with you.
Right. So when you really take that into account, those guys are always going to outshine. Now, I'll say don't underestimate the ability for the incompetent quacks to cause some trouble for the experts.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are a lot of quacks make noise.
Yeah.
It's like literally like a duck, quack, quack, right?
it's a lot.
And a lot of times people fall for the bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? And then trust issues get in there and it now becomes a trauma undoing than with a professional who actually knows his shit. Right? So that's why, and let's be honest, beyond that point, the demand Dubai has is not being met. Dubai, and you're a developer, you know this.
It's always the case.
Dubai's demand is not met. Dubai needs more buildings.
By quality, for sure, yeah.
You know, and quality, more quality ones. So
I think right now is nothing different than what it was for 20 years ago, even in the US, UK, or any settled country or emerging country, that 95% of the business is done by 5% of the people.
Literally.
And 5% of the business is done by 95%.
Correct.
And so that rule stays true here in this industry, that we still have that problem where we need more experts to be able to provide a quality service at all different facets of the business.
Yeah, I mean, for me, to be quite honest, I hear a lot of people, and the good ones, the good Asians, that they're telling me, Waleed, this influx of a lot of Asians, and there is even brokerages, because if you have a brokerage, someone who started a brokerage and he don't have a good experience, he will recruit someone with a bad experience.
It just ripples.
And then what's gonna happen is that the brokers, their job is to sell the city before the before the house, and they're not giving the right information, and they're talking to the external world, and that will be negatively impacting Dubai. So that's their concern. Usually that's their concern.
Big time.
But I want to ask you guys something. We're in the tech, world, and Dubai is one of the leaders in the tech world. Like we have, I think maybe Japan, they're better than us, and we're the second best, if I'm not wrong.
Honestly, it's all relative.
But anyways, like
Dubai on a public and a private sector segment is the most advanced. You know, like China is up there, right? But then when you talk about unification, and you talk about like how many government authorities do we have in Dubai that have actual platforms? All of them.
All of them.
True.
Yeah.
All of them. Right now, if you go to China, there are few places that have, some don't. Right. So it's difficult. Again, that's a different.
Also,
scale.
China is
can't compare. You know, so I don't think it's fair to compare. But now, talk about origin of technology. Yes, the Chinese are number one in the world. Like, there's no question there. The Japanese, the Chinese, a lot happens. But then on the consumption side, private, public sector. Man, and I'm talking about what works.
Yeah.
You know, when you file a complaint on Dubai police, do you get a call to follow up? Yes, you do.
It works.
You know, I was shitting on some Indians on one of my podcast when I said Dubai is the only city in the world that has. Obviously, sometimes I say some things that are intentionally provocative, like extremely absolute, like middle finger to everybody else, and like you guys got English shit, and that's a provoke. But a lot of times, it's not far from the truth.
Yeah.
Because yes. Your Kerala police station has an app. Can you log in?
Oh, so they were comparing.
They were like, come to this, come to that. Okay, I hear you. What happens when you use those bloody things?
Yeah.
Now, Pakistan and India has the number one tech minds in the world.
Yeah, in terms of manpower, in terms of
Period. Now, when you talk about, it's unreal what is happening. And come from a cybersecurity background myself.
Yeah.
What happens from Pakistan, bro?
Yeah.
I'm talking domestically, commercially, privately, military. It is the Pentagon recruits 19, 20, 25-year-old Pakistani kids who are still sitting in the grandparents' basements in Islamabad, in Lahore.
Wow.
Bro, it's unreal, the technology.
They have the brains for it.
It's unreal. And it's become a culture cluster.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you got Silicon Valley and all these, unicorns are popping out. It's unreal. And I've seen it from all over the world.
Yeah.
Chinese are great and all that. But when it comes to defense, security, innovation, and it's so funny how with all the challenges that Pakistan faces as a country, you still have all these potential. Now, why am I referencing this? Their maximum potential is not realized in Pakistan. They gotta maximize it outside. Of Pakistan.
Yeah, well, that's
right. America, UAE, Canada, whatever it is.
They're the consumers of it, yeah.
But you know why I'm bringing this tech? Because we spoke about how the brokers, majority of them are not up to it, unfortunately, and there's only a few of them that are good. I was thinking, because the UAE is a tech country, they invest a lot on tech. Do you think that one day we will create, and you are also from an app development background.
Yeah.
Do you think that app will happen one day, and then the brokers, they will be like, oh my God, our job is gone, extinct?
Yes and no.
In the US, there was a website called Zillow. Have you guys heard of it?
Oh, very well.
Zillow,
I use Zillow,
When Zillow came out, we thought we were out of business.
Yeah.
I was a broker back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is going to take over our job and this and that.
Nah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, people want a person to
Oh, yes.
create a relationship
Oh, yes.
that they can like and trust.
Oh, yeah.
An app can't do that. An app can't replace a human connection.
No.
A robot or an AI can't do that. No script in the world can do that.
Oh, yeah.
If you take care of the needs of your customer, you'll never be out of business. That doesn't matter what app comes out there. It's only there to facilitate and make a human's life easier.
Yeah.
Right? When cars came out, didn't mean that we're no longer going to have a job or that we're going to basically be extinct.
Yeah.
It's just how we use these tools and resources to be able to improve our
Ourselves.
lives and the
Sure,
others
they're
around us.
enhancers, as
Yes.
you said, you know, and people buy people,
Yeah.
right? If this water has a pretty bad taste to it, if I like you enough, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna say, that's how water should taste. You know?
Yeah, that becomes the standard.
It becomes the
because that's what
standard,
we're
right?
selling
Because
it at.
everything is subjective. Perception is greater than reality,
Yeah.
right? And like you rightly said, all these tools, like it's the same way we thought phones are going to replace us or vehicles are going to replace us. Every single thing and humanity it's natural for us to fear the unknown. It's natural for us to fear new things. It's natural because when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, it's all fear, and that's fine because you got to still act in spite of that fear. Technology will come around that will threaten to replace us. However, that human connection, as you rightly said, is going to be irreplaceable. No matter what happens. Now, we have kids who are glued to their phones, right? They can be on the iPad, they can play with their online network of friends or whatever, video calls and all these memes and all this bullshit fucking animation, whatever they're used to. But when they get to interact with another human being on a face-to-face level, it's a different energetic
Level,
exchange. Totally different. You know,
And the ones that master that, the one that master how to create human connection,
yes.
are the ones
Will
that are
always
going to
win.
be resilient. They're going
100%.
to always be part of the 5%,
100%.
95% of the
100%.
business.
Without a
Yeah.
doubt. Without
In
a
any
doubt.
industry.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
interesting. You know, there's these two guys that I'm watching on Instagram. They're very cool. They wear red canduras.
Oh yeah, I know the guys
Seen
talking
them?
about. Yeah, I know them. I know them with these
do
bogus
you
glasses
know
and
them?
bogus shoes. I know
Personally,
of them. I've seen. No,
you
personally,
know
no,
of
we're not
them,
friends.
yeah.
We're not friends now.
So you've seen them?
No, I haven't, no.
So there's these two guys.
Yeah.
They do some sort of marketing for
They're a
real
marketing
estate.
agency, yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
real
real
estate.
estate
Yeah?
companies specifically, yeah.
I'm
And
sure I'll
you've
see it
s-
now.
Yeah, I'll show you the video. They have this AI where you literally think you're talking to a human being,
Yeah.
and actually it's an AI.
You know what's very funny?
But have you seen the video,
Did
Tony?
did we talk about this before? You know, I built that a year and a half ago.
No way.
I can show you. I used it for myself.
Yeah?
You have you know what I
Like
shocked?
an AI chatbot.
You know,
No, an AI phone call.
Look,
Oh.
To be able to call.
Look, imagine he do the thing, and it's an AI.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I mean, it's
Create a human experience.
the reality. You know what I love about what these guys are doing, or what I love that these guys are showcasing. These guys are showcasing is not about who did it first. It's about
They're
who
doing-
put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put it out there
If you
very
don't put
well.
it out there, it doesn't exist. Now, for me, it was like I was contemplating: should I go commercial? I told Fabrizio about this almost 2 years ago. Like she saw it, right? But then I was very greedy and I used it for myself, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why I downsized my team from nearly 100 people to only 7 people. You don't need
Because you have that technology, right?
and beyond that point, there's so much more. Like if I show you where we're at right now, bro, literally 80% of my operation is run through AI,
AI,
automation.
And people
Wow.
think it's a human being.
And that's fine.
Yeah. That's fine. No, no. We're
Because,
not-
no, we do have human beings. Now I only have relationship managers, government liaison managers,
Yes.
who you cannot walk into. An AI cannot walk into Jafali and GDRFA.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
you know
certain
what I
things
mean?
that still need a human,
Still need a human being,
interaction.
you know?
You know why it's powerful? Imagine you have a good receptionist.
Yeah.
That AI, because I did small research, I want them in our show, these guys,
Okay.
soon. So the AI will study that lady, the way she
yeah.
speaks, the patterns, and imagine you'll have 10 of her.
Of course. Honestly, man, people underestimate like that. That is 1% of what AI is capable of doing.
Yeah.
1%.
I think.
I heard it.
I
That's
think
only the
yeah,
baseline of change.
Real.
I
what
think-
is happening?
the solution is those small fraction of Asians that are good. They will be amplified by this AI,
But
and then we're good.
That's exactly
nice.
what it is. Because now
Yeah.
imagine that you never miss a phone call anymore. Now,
Yeah, you cannot
but-
miss a phone call with
but
this.
What I've actually realized is, no matter how much advancements come out, some people are still only going to scratch the surface of it.
Agreed.
It's always like that. Like, okay, your car. Let's take a regular car, right? Each of us drive a car that has an infotainment system. How deep have you gone into your car infotainment system?
Yeah.
The settings.
5%. Yeah.
We never maximize things.
Yeah.
And the person who goes and maximizes those things is the one that's gonna look like a rock
Agreed.
star.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the way it is. Even your iPhone, bro. Do you know how many things are in settings that you haven't actually touched?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Apple Intelligence, have you played with that shit right now?
Actually, I'm discovering things from my friends, and I'm like, why I'm not using this?
And it's in your pocket.
Yeah, like
Right.
last time you told me about this scheduling thing. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
There's so many. There's an app for everything.
Bro, it's literally education is
Yeah, there's an
education
app
is
for that.
education is
To be a saying.
everything.
You know, I'm from more of an artistic guy. I like to create stuff, but
Yeah.
like I need to use people's creative, what people
For sure.
created as well. Yeah,
For sure.
There are always going to be problems, and there will always be a tech solution to it. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you can have all these resources, but if you don't implement or if you don't execute or use it to your resource as a resource, then it's useless. So like in every industry, there are things that are going to make your life easier, and sometimes people are going to use that as a threat to their own kind or their own industry or anything like that. But it only becomes a threat if we basically are scared away from it. But if we embrace it and we implement it, then it basically becomes a tool, initiates more opportunities, frees up your time to be able to do more things that are more income producing.
I personally think humans are skeptics. They say
naturally.
AI will.
Of course. We've always been.
We're skeptical. I think AI will enhance us. Maybe after 2,000-3,000 years, there will be cyborg.
But you know, that comes from an evolutionary psychology point of view, right? It's like, because when you're skeptical about something new, it's based on a safety and cultural preservation point of view, right? Because you fast forward all the back to Darwinian times and all that, any new person breaking into your culture, your environment, your society, your community poses a threat to destabilize the order and the habits and the systems you have in place. So it's natural that especially when I hear about crypto and all these, people that are skeptical, oh, it's a bubble. I'm like, people forget there was once upon a time when we had no money, right?
No currency,
Paper money is IOU.
Yeah.
That's attached to a real physical asset.
Yeah.
And there was once upon a time where you bring your 100 kilo cow and I give you 50 kilo cows.
Yeah.
That was the way of trading.
Yeah.
And then now you mean to tell me your 100 kilo cow is going to be replaced by this paper?
And now it's not
Can
even
you
a
imagine
paper.
the skepticism people had against
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
and
yeah.
then governments came in, regularized it, added credibility to it, and then people say, okay, you know what, fuck it, I'll give you my cow for this paper.
Yeah.
It's the same
Concept,
mentality and
changing it.
concept.
Yeah.
We're bitching about iPhone 17. Oh, this new change. Guess what? You're still gonna shut the hell up and use it anyway.
Yeah, because it's gonna be advanced.
Change is inevitable.
Absolutely.
Change is inevitable.
Inevitable.
Actually, that's the only constant.
Exactly.
Change is
You
the
know,
only
like I say,
constant.
right?
And death and
You
taxes.
measure intelligence by.
I like the
adaptability.
taxes. You like death and taxes.
Well, yeah, we love taxes, though. It's our favorite thing in the world. Taxes.
No, I think taxes is a way a human contributes back to the society or to his government.
When a society works, like the
when
UAE
it works.
Yeah.
But to come back to the tech side, when we mix it with real estate, because now I'm around a lot of people from real estate industry, from a tech perspective, not only brokers. I have a friend of mine, I cannot disclose the name of the app. Soon there will be an app, a real estate app, where the app, while there is an AI, they can understand who you are, and the app will suggest for you the best community that you can live in the UAE through where you work, your kids, what's their age. They take all the data and they tell you, okay, those 3 places, they're convenient for you, and this is why. And I was like, he showed me the interface, and I was like, wow. Actually, I can say who's the person, but I couldn't say what was the ad, the name of the app. But it's actually Nils.
Oh, yeah?
Nils, he's preparing this.
Nice.
So, I mean, for me, I think this might be a threat. Not a threat, but it will, if I'm a good broker and I will use this app or this set of apps, I will be the next level.
Of course.
Think about it. What did Uber do to the taxi industry? What did Airbnb do to the hotel industry?
True.
It didn't eliminate the industries as a whole, but it further made the service to the consumer a better experience.
Exactly.
That's what these apps are supposed to do.
And competition breeds innovation.
If you're serving the end user, if you're serving your client, then you just want to find a way how to serve them better.
Yeah.
Right? And as a broker or as a developer, all we have to do is look at these apps as an opportunity to enhance the experience for our customer.
100%. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
mean,
it.
talking about the Dubai and this app suggesting the best places, I just want to know. Actually, I know about you because spoke about it. We're gonna speak about it now, but I want to know about. I want to know a developer perspective. According to you, I know you studied the whole landscape of Dubai, but from a personal perspective, not a business perspective, from you as Amir, what's the best area for you in Dubai?
All right, as a family man that doesn't like traffic, I hope
Like
you guys-
99% of the people.
Yep.
I would say that quality of life as a family man,
Yeah.
where you can have less and less of traffic, but yet still easy way to get to the favorite restaurants and places for the weekends, is I would say anywhere south of Sakin.
Oh, really?
South of Sakin, which brings a lot of communities to play. But I would say that JVC, Furjan, Arjan,
Yeah.
Dubai Science Park, Production City, IMPZ, all these places become a place where people are going to flock towards as they
Yeah.
want to grow their family.
I'm literally about to go for a
have-
viewing for a villa in Al Fajan. I want to move
Yeah.
to. You know, I used to live there, so I used to have a house there, own a house there.
I remember
when I
you-
was married.
You invited
No.
me once to Business Bay. You were living in Business Bay or downtown. Remember?
Where did you come?
Business
one?
Bay.
I had both. Because I had a place in Haptor City. I had a penthouse in Haptor City.
Yeah, in
And-
Haptor. Yeah. I
yes,
remember that
yes,
penthouse.
yes. Bro, Haptor City was one of my favorite locations strategically.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, now that whole cluster is still kind of trafficked up. But so much in and out. Jumeirah, Al Khail Road, Sheikh Zayed Road, you know, the other end as well. You know, I think strategically it's one of the most incredible places. If you want to be in the heart and all the, you know, hustle and bustle of all that, it's the best place because you're downtown without the downtown hassle, without the boulevard hassle.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
in the other
You know,
side of
yeah,
the canal,
yeah,
excluded.
100%. And the next best part is exactly what he just said. Those clusters, you
Yeah.
know. So I mean, let's be honest, right? We've all come from different parts of the world where a 40-minute drive is not a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Spoiled in Dubai.
True.
We're so
That's
spoiled.
true. Yeah, I mean,
Spoiled.
I'm here sitting
Now it's like,
talking
oh
about
my God,
this.
it takes you 22 minutes to get to your house. How are you coming? Stay at home. We'll do a Zoom call then. Because when you live in fucking
Yeah.
Toronto, it was an hour and 25 minutes and you sat down patiently.
Yeah.
New York, LA,
Yeah.
an hour, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll be there soon, right? Dubai, it takes 25 minutes or 10 minutes extra. We're like, oh, you leave too far. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are spoiled.
You know, we're really spoiled. I know.
Yeah.
I think when you live here long enough now, because now I've found I'm moving to more and more. Bro, it's gotten to a point right now. My two locations, I'm checking out houses. Okay, I love to be close, so I'm checking out Basha. But Basha has all the
Basha's
villas, of course.
beautiful.
I love to be there, but that traffic is crazy.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at Al Fajan and Liwan. Those are my two places.
yeah,
Silicon Oasis.
Yeah,
Liwan is
DSO is growing.
You know?
big.
yeah, Liwan is strategically put.
And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, what's the point of being downtown? There's no point. Unless you're a tourist. And you know me, I live in my cars.
Yeah.
That's why I try to get them as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
I'm always on the road. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the point of being so close if I'm gonna be one meeting is in Al Fajan, another meeting is in bloody Abu Dhabi, another meeting is in Fujairah. So it doesn't matter where you live
Yeah.
anymore. You know, find what works for you, what's peaceful, what's within your budget and capacity, and just build a community around that.
Yeah.
Everybody will come to you. Bro, I remember when I had my villa in Arabian Ranches as well. Bro, I was like, oh, at the time, everyone's gonna complain. My friends are all downtown DRFC. Bro, everybody came partying at 3 a.m., 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, so people will come to wherever you are, no matter where you are.
No, and one of the things, like you said, Zoom has changed the way people do business.
Yeah.
And right now, with the way technology is enhancing,
Yeah.
you can't no longer be just looking at it from a perspective that, oh, I need to live where it's close to work.
Yes.
Right? Because now you have
Yes.
the abilities to be able to just jump on Zoom
Yeah.
and have that meeting. So that opens up the way that people judge or choose real estate.
For sure. Big time. You know, I was actually suggesting, because we had this whole traffic issues, you know, and again, you know, the data people don't realize is people complain Dubai is getting busy, but no city in the world is built to handle the acceleration speed Dubai.
That
Dubai
never
grew
happened
by
before.
nearly 11% in vehicles in 1 year.
What?
Wow. I didn't
Yes,
know that.
10.8%. I was checking data from the Ministry of Transport office, and I was suggesting to his office, you know, to His Excellency, why don't we incentivize remote business owners? They don't have physical offices. Pay less licenses.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be a solution.
Big discount. Now, it's difficult to kind of, if they can do that, you can empty the roads by 10% at least, right? That is a little kickback. Now, on top of that, we now have an amazing place like Dubai that is also accelerating in construction of roads. So they are literally catering and catching up. The biggest metropolitan city in the world and the busiest in China is built to scale at 6.9% growth. Wow. Dubai has almost doubled that in 1 year, right? So when you think about that, and now you compare that with the flood, for example, these are unprecedented marks. And Dubai has referenced the best urban planners, the best developers, the best engineers around the world, and none of them could ever fathom a nearly 12% growth. So how the hell can you prepare for something that is seemingly impossible by the highest standards, right? So when you think about all that, when Dubai starts to really realize, okay, as a digital city, and by the way, Dubai has only built on less than about 30% of its landmass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
When you think about that.
No, wait a minute. Dubai is 30% built?
No, yes.
What?
Have you
Oh,
gone on
I heard
physical? Have you gone on Google Maps? Go on Google Maps and go take a satellite view
Still majorly
of Dubai
deserts,
and see how much of the desert. You're a developer. You dabs data.
Yeah.
It's all Sheikh Zayed Road, and everything is built around Sheikh
the
Zayed Road.
infrastructures only, yeah.
So
The
imagine
infrastructure
how
hasn't
much
reached
more.
to a 70% of Dubai yet.
I thought we are at 70%.
No.
No, of the places that are close to that have infrastructure.
Yeah.
Ah, so you're talking about the pieces of that like a little bit far.
Oh, for sure.
down.
I'm talking about take Dubai's every corner of Dubai.
Okay, yeah,
right?
that
and
makes sense,
Total
yeah.
square foot, and you divide that to what's built. There's so much untapped land. Now imagine when Dubai becomes 100% built.
It would be like the city of the future, man. One last question, guys. And this one, I always squeeze him with it because he can fight people for Dubai. He can go and kill someone.
I am more than happy
But
to.
I want you to give me an answer. You cannot tell me no.
Okay.
What's the alternative for you except Dubai? A city outside of the UAE?
Saudi. Somewhere in Saudi.
Riyadh?
Maybe, depending on where. I mean, Riyadh and Jeddah are both developing.
Yeah.
So nobody knows. I mean, Saudi is like Dubai many years ago, except a lot more money.
Yeah.
And they now have Dubai as a reference.
Reference,
point.
yeah. They can, yeah.
So, there's so much. Nobody can ever forecast what the direction is going to be. You never know. We might launch something out there. You never know what's going to happen. So I'll say the next best bet is Saudi.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Amir?
For me, I'd say Miami.
Obviously, you
Fair
come back
enough.
to Miami.
For me, I'd say Miami is because Miami is still a Dubai part 2. Or maybe Dubai is a Miami part 2.
No,
Yeah.
Dubai is a Miami part
Yeah.
2. No, but like, sorry, accept Miami.
Oh, except Miami.
Yeah, accept Miami and Dubai because you've been to Miami.
That's
you're in
home,
Dubai.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what in your head something that is not as level
Yeah.
of Dubai, but at least close.
Then I definitely say Saudi as well.
Saudi
because
as well,
Saudi is very promising,
Yeah.
very bullish in the abilities of how they're putting the needs of the public first and
Yeah.
how they're looking to attract investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as an entrepreneur, we want to
Yeah.
be in front of opportunity and we want to be in places where the leadership is thinking about growth, not just maintenance. And Saudi's there. So
Because there's a lot of people talking about
Bro,
Cyprus.
MBS is a crazy
he's killing it.
guy. I
Yeah.
fucking
He's
love
doing
it.
good job.
Yes.
He's doing good job.
I mean, he's the only person. I mean, look what he did with his family.
Yeah.
Right, with the 4 seasons, not just his family, the entire, all the
Yeah.
billionaires, all the ruling families,
Holding them accountable.
every single
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
That is, man, you gotta have dinosaur balls of steel
Yeah.
To
to
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show, as you rightly said, that is the next best reference point for who gives a shit about his people.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, the reason of my question, because there's a lot of, lately, I don't know if you've seen in social media, a lot of people talking about Cyprus or Cyprus. You see that guy who's comparing Cyprus to Dubai?
Ah, yeah, that idiot.
I've seen that guy.
I saw that. Bloody idiot. Even people in Cyprus say, bro, which Cyprus are you talking about, please? Show us. We are from here. You are, like, which Cyprus? Show us the Cyprus you're talking
It's
about.
like comparing a Fiat to a Lamborghini.
Well,
Yeah,
everybody has an opinion, and
Oh, yeah.
everybody wants to serve their people.
Oh, for sure.
I think one thing that we can all agree to, and I think all the people around the world, there's a reason why they want to come to Dubai, is because we're doing something right.
True.
And we are very, very fortunate that we call Dubai home, and we're very fortunate to be able to live our safe lives and be able to be in
Absolutely.
front of change and
Yeah.
embrace
Absolutely.
it as an opportunity rather than as a
Absolutely.
threat. Thank you guys for coming, and I
Appreciate you,
hope
man.
that we
Thank you for
can
having us.
share
So good to see you.
some more times and podcasts together.
For
soon.
sure,
I'm
for
we
sure.
will.
guys.
I want to
will.
say just last words. Thank you, Tony, for coming.
Nah, appreciate you.
Minimal
Honored
to
as
come.
always.
And thank you also, Amir, for organizing this amazing podcast. I have a lot of high hopes for this podcast, by the way. It's
I'm
gonna
excited
be
to see.
it's
Man,
gonna be a
I
reference.
don't know what I said, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna
Like,
be
my memory is like, minus 5 minutes in the past, and that's it.
Nothing that would cause trouble.
Yeah.
Nothing that would cause
Absolutely.
trouble. We're done, Mr. Director.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
man.